We begin this evening with developing news out of Schenectady. Right now, several back roads are shut down. Clinton and Franklin Streets closed around City Hall. Liberty Street also blocked off from Broadway to Lafayette Street.
Now, the roadblocks are up tonight because of this massive fire early this morning on J Street. Crews arrived just after 2 a.m. and they are still on the scene.
Our team coverage of this fire continues this evening, starting with Brandon Lewis. He's been at the scene and spoken to authorities all day long.
Yeah, Liz, well, right now, some 15, 16 hours after the fire started, you can see firefighters still working on these very stubborn hot spots outside on J Street, 100 and 104 J Street. More than 60 residents were inside at the time, many of them telling us tonight they feel lucky to be alive. Just after 1 a.m., residents of these two buildings woke to flames shooting through the roof.
Another minute in my apartment, I'd be dead.
More than 50 people made it out safely. One was hospitalized with severe burns, another 5 for other injuries. One man was forced to jump from the 5th floor and was taken to Albany Med.
I thought I was going to die or have to jump like that myself because I was in the middle of climbing out the 4th floor window to get away from the fire when that young man hit the ground right in front of me. That's when I just said, this is it. This is life and death.
Police say a few residents are unaccounted for but are still investigating. Anthony Cortese believes one is his neighbor.
He didn't follow me out. I tried to get him out, but he was in a panic, and when I went out the window, it was so out of control, I lost track of him in the dark and the smoke and everything, and the last thing I could hear was him screaming.
Several residents tell a similar tale. No one reported hearing a fire alarm.
I was told by one of the maintenance gentlemen that the hardwire alarms that go directly to the fire department were not in use, that they'd been unplugged because they were malfunctioning and were continually going off. I thought that our fire smoke alarms in our apartment were still working, but I guess they weren't.
As day broke, firefighters worked to battle remaining hotspots. Investigators couldn't get into the building until afternoon and say they haven't determined how it started or what alarms were working.
We're interviewing the occupants at this time. We don't have all information, so I really can't comment on that. I don't have any reliable information on that. We're looking into that.
Firefighters were also injured today fighting the fire, one from injuries from the cold, another from a burn, and another suffered a facial injury. All of them were taken to area hospitals where they were treated and released. City records show 2 different owners for the buildings here. We tried to reach out to them, but we didn't find a phone number listed for them. This police department would not identify them, but say they are cooperating with law enforcement authorities tonight. We're live in Schenectady. Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.
Brandon, thank you. It's sad to think more than 60 people don't have a place to call home tonight. They spent the day trying to find shelter and scrambling to let friends and family know they're okay.
But I'm just glad you're okay.
A single phone call ending hours of confusion and despair.
Yeah, your car's kind of a little bit buried in water and ice, but it's there.
Reconnecting is a highlight in an otherwise dark day for dozens of families facing the cold, brutal fact that a fire took everything they own.
Lost all my stuff, and it's very, no sleep. Rude awakening.
People with no place to go came here. The fellowship hall at Christ Church is now a safe haven and a Red Cross shelter, a place to warm up, shake off the shock, and try to figure out what's next.
I don't know what to do right now. Right now, I don't know who I'm going to ask. I'm just waiting and hoping that God is going to look out for us children.
These people grabbed whatever they could before they left their homes. John Selly scrambled to save the family pets, Rocky, Lady, and Troubles.
They're my family, and that's my best friends.
They, along with other cats and dogs, will also live in the church for now.
I had nothing on my feet, nothing on but a T-shirt, and I grabbed her and I left. My parents grabbed those two, the kids, and we were out the door.
While investigators look for answers, the goal here is finding a place to live again. The Red Cross will fill the church with cots for the time being as these former tenants try to move forward.
Sad, not about my place, because my stuff people mean more to me than my stuff does. But,
it's tough.
Yes.
So you might be asking yourself right now, how can I help? Well, we'll give you the answer. You can send donations to either the local chapter of the Red Cross, the address right on your screen, or the national office. And we're told cash donations are the best way to help right now. Red Cross tells CBS 6 there just isn't enough room to store any other donated goods like toys or clothing.